Hi, and welcome to this lecture titled The Reactivity Series in Order. So this is the list of reactivity series in order. Potassium is the most reactive metal, so it's the most reactive. And the least reactive here is platinum. So this is the list in order. So it starts off with potassium, followed by sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, carbon, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, silver, gold, and platinum. Some students would use the acronym method where they take the first letter, right, P, S, C, and try to form a word, right, or a story or a poem. But the thing about that is it's not as effective because as you can see here, there are two C's. Sorry, there are one, two, three C's. So which one comes first? Is it calcium or copper? Or is it copper or carbon, right? So that's the reason why uh, I don't encourage you guys to use the acronym method. Instead, we'll be using the link story or story link method here. It's a much easier way. Again, you see there are two S's here. One is sodium and one is silver. So which one comes first? So by using the story link technique, we eliminate any form of confusion. All right. That's it for this lecture. When you're ready, please move on to the next one. I'll see you there. Thank you so much. All right, welcome to this lecture titled Potassium, Sodium, and Calcium. In this lecture, we'll be memorizing the first three metals. So again, potassium is the most reactive metal. So the first thing that we'll need to do is to form a mental folder. If you remember your link story technique, there are three steps. The first step is to form a mental folder. The second step is to turn each word here into a visual image. And lastly is to create a link. So in this case, the mental folder is always related to the title. In this case, reactivity series. The mental folder in this case can be a beaker in your chemistry lab. So just visualize a big beaker that is boiling, right? Visualize bubbles coming out of the water. That is your mental folder. Now, it's hard for us to visualize potassium, right? Because most of us don't know what potassium looks like. In fact, I don't know what potassium looks like. So the closest representation here for me would be a potato. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll take my potato and I'll put it into my beaker, my boiling beaker. So just visualize you taking your potato, holding it by your hand, and putting it into the boiling beaker. So visualize the potato maybe floating on the beaker. That's your first image, down. The next thing is sodium. Again, sodium is salt. What you could do is you could pour a bag of salt on your potato, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize a can of soda. So it is a close representation for me. Sodium sounds like soda. So I will visualize taking a can of soda, maybe a can of Coke, and I would put it on top of my potato. So the first thing is your potato. On top of your potato, you've got a can of soda. The next thing is calcium. So what I'll do is calcium for me represents milk. So I would visualize a carton of milk and I'll place the carton of milk on top of the can of Coke. So again, the first thing that you see is your potato. On top of your potato, there's a can of Coke. Make sure you see those images in your head, right? Close your eyes if you have to. And the last item is on top of the can of Coke is a carton of milk. So visualize a carton of milk balancing on the can of Coke. Again, before we end this lesson, just a quick recall. The first item is potassium. Second item is sodium, the can of soda. And your last item is calcium because of that carton of milk. When you're done, please move on to the next lecture and I'll see you there. Thank you so much. Alright, and welcome to this lecture titled Magnesium, Aluminium, and Carbon. Now, in this lecture, we'll be we'll be memorizing the next three metals. Before we start, let's do a recall of your previous lesson. So again, visualize your mental folder. In this case, it was your beaker that's boiling, potato, potassium, followed by a can of Coke on top of the potato, right? Visualize a can of Coke. On top of the can of Coke, we place a carton of milk, right, to represent calcium. Now, the next three is magnesium, aluminium, and carbon. So the last visual image that we have in our mind's eye is your carton of milk. Now, I need to link magnesium to my carton of milk. Magnesium, again, I don't know what magnesium looks like, right? It's very hard for me to visualize. So I'll turn magnesium into either a magnet or a magazine, right? It can be your physical magazine, like your book kind of magazine, or it can be your gun, right? Every gun has a magazine. In this case, I'm gonna go with mm, I'm gonna go with an actual magazine, maybe like your book kind of magazine. So the last visual image is my carton of milk. I'm gonna place a magazine, right? Any magazine that you want to visualize, right? It can be Vogue, GQ, Men's Health. In this case, maybe I'll visualize Men's Health magazine covering the carton of milk, or on top of the carton of milk. So I got my carton of milk. I'm going to lay my magazine on top of my carton of milk. Again, take time to visualize these images. Close your eyes if you have to. So I've got potato, my can of Coke, I've got my carton of milk. On top of my carton of milk, I've got my magazine. Now the next thing is aluminium. Very simple. I'm going to place aluminium foil on my magazine. A thick layer of aluminium foil. If it's going to be just one layer, it's going to be hard for you to visualize. So imagine a really thick layer of aluminium foil on top of your magazine, right? Just cover it up, right? Take time to visualize this, covering your magazine with aluminium foil. The next thing is carbon. In this case, I'm going to break up carbon into a car. I'm going to use a car. So I'm going to place a small toy car on top of my aluminium foil. So visualize a red sports toy car, right? Just on top of your aluminium foil. Maybe I'm moving the car around the aluminium foil as well. Try to imagine the sound that that will be created when you move the car around the aluminium foil. All right, like that crunchy metallic sound. All right. So again, first item is reactivity series, my beaker of boiling water, potato, followed by my can of soda. Then I've got my carton of milk. On top of my carton of milk, I've got a magazine, right? Magnesium. Then I layer it on with aluminium foil. And on top of the aluminium foil is the car, right? A small toy car that represents carbon. Let's try to do a quick recall here. What's your first item in your reactivity series? You should see a potato, and that is potassium. What's the next thing that you see? Can of Coke, soda, right? Sodium. What's next? A carton of milk, calcium. What do you see next? A magazine, magnesium. What's next? Aluminium foil, aluminium. What's next? Toy car, carbon. Very good. Alright, that's the end for this lecture. When you're ready, please move forward. Thank you so much. Alright, welcome to this lecture titled Zinc, Iron, and Tin. So these are the next three elements that we'll be memorizing. Alright, just real quick, let's do a recap on the first few metals. Reactivity series, what's your first metal? Try to recall. Good. Potassium, because of the potato. What's next? Sodium. Can of soda. What's next? Calcium, the carton of milk. What's after calcium? Magnesium, right? The magazine on top of the carton of milk. What's next? Aluminium. Aluminium foil. What's next? Carbon. A toy car. Good, let's move on. We'll be adding zinc, iron, and tin to the list right now. So what was your last visual image? In this case, it was your toy car, carbon, right? Now I'll need to link zinc to carbon. So again, it's hard for me to visualize zinc, and it's hard for me to come up with a word that represents zinc because I do not know of any word that sounds like zinc. In this case, I'm just going to go with a zebra. That's it. As soon as that's the easiest thing that I can think of. All right. So in this case, I've got my toy car, and I will visualize a zebra, an actual size zebra, using its mouth to chew on the toy car. Right. So visualize an actual live zebra chewing on the toy car. All right. Maybe you have the shock of your life. Like, what is the zebra doing there? It's so random. But a funny image like that will help you remember longer. Right, so visualize that zebra, right? Zebra represents zinc. Now the next thing is iron. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put an ironing board on top of the zebra, and I'm going to iron my clothes. So visualize you ironing your clothes on top of the zebra, right? So place an ironing board. Don't burn the zebra. So be sure to place an ironing board on top of the zebra and start to iron the shirt. Alright, so you got zebra on biting on the toy car. I place an ironing board on the zebra and I'm ironing what represents iron. Next is tin. Once you're done ironing your clothes, what you can do is you can take the iron and place it into a big tin, like a can, right? A very big tin. So visualize the sound that it'll create as soon as you dump your iron in that tin can, right? That cling, that metallic clang. So visualize that. So you've got again zebra biting on the toy car, iron on that zebra. You take the iron, you place it on the tin. The tin can be beside the iron. A really big tin, right? Make sure the iron can fit in that tin. And visualize the sound or imagine the sound as well. Alright, from the very top, we've got potassium. What's next? Sodium. What's next? Calcium. Next, magnesium, aluminium, carbon. What was biting on the car? Zebra, zinc. What did I place on the zebra? Ironing board, iron. And what's next? Take the iron and I place it in a big tin. It's good. Alright, this is a simple quiz for you. Which is more reactive? Potassium or calcium? I'll give you guys some time. Now the correct answer is potassium. Potassium is at the very top of the list, and that's the most reactive metal. So it goes potassium. After potassium, we have sodium, right? The can of soda. After sodium, we have calcium, a carton of milk. So potassium is higher on the list, so it's more reactive. Which is more reactive, tin or magnesium? So which is higher on that list? Does magnesium comes first or does tin come first? So in this case, magnesium is more reactive. What about the last one? Is it sodium or iron? Which is more reactive? In this case, it's sodium because it's higher on the list. Alright, that's it for this lecture. When you're ready, please move on, and I'll see you for the next one. Thank you so much. Hi, and welcome to this lecture titled Lead, Hydrogen, Copper. Before we start, let's do a quick recall of the previous metals. Reactivity series, again, go to your mental folder. In this case, it's your beaker, right? That's filled with boiling water. The first thing that I throw in is potassium, followed by sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, carbon, zinc, iron, tin. Alright, let's memorize lead, hydrogen, and copper right now. So the last visual image of the last metal was tin. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the tin up with pencil lead. There's thousands of pencil lead. Right, and I'm going to fill the whole tin up. So visualize yourself taking a bunch of pencil lead and just pouring it into the tin. Right, and the pencil lead just overflows. It's all over the floor as well. And the iron is basically covered up right now. It's completely covered up with pencil lead. The next item is hydrogen. Again, it is very hard for you to visualize hydrogen. It's a gas, right? It's colorless. So in this case, the closest representation would be hi, hydrogen. So I would visualize my friend saying hi beside the tin can. And as he's saying hi, maybe he tries to steal some pencil lead, right? Visualize, hi, how are you? Him waving his hands at me. But then as he steals his pencil lead, what happens is copper representation for me would be a cop, right? Policeman. Policeman sees him stealing the pencil lead and arrests him. So I visualize the cop going over to my friend and taking my friend's arm and placing it behind his back. And then the cop puts a handcuff on my friend. So again, you got tin, pencil lead, right? Again, close your eyes if you have to. Visualize just pencil lead filling up the tin, right? Then beside the tin is your friend. Visualize your best friend, right? It could be a guy or a girl. Visualize him or her saying hi to you. Represents hydrogen. Saying hi, waving his or her hands, right? Hi, how are you? And using his hands, he reaches into the tin and grabs a bunch of lead, right? And beside him is a cop. The cop sees that, places him under arrest. So let's do a recall from the top again. Potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, carbon, zinc, iron, tin. What's next? Pencil lead, right? So lead. And then I've got my friend that's saying hi to me. Hydrogen. What's next? He steals some of the lead. There's a cop there, represents copper. Alright. Simple quiz. Which is least reactive right now? Keyword here is least reactive. So again, right at the top, right, of our list, the most reactive metals are there. Right at the bottom is the least reactive. So which is least reactive, potassium or calcium? Since calcium is lower down the list, in this case it is calcium. What about carbon or zinc? Try to take some time, pause the video if you have to. Which one comes first? Carbon comes first, so it's more reactive. In this case, least reactive. So the answer is zinc. Zinc is least reactive in this case. Lead or copper? Again, which one comes first here? The lead came first, so lead is more reactive. In this case, what's the question asking? Least reactive. So the answer is copper. This copper is further down the list. Alright, that's it for this lesson. I'll see you for the next one. Thank you so much. Hi, and welcome to this next lecture titled Silver, Gold, Platinum. Before we start again, let's do a quick recall. First item is potassium. What's next? Sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, carbon, zinc, iron, tin. What do we have next? Lead, hydrogen, and lastly copper. Now, these are the last three metals: silver, gold, and platinum. So what's the last visual image? In this case, it was copper. It was a cop, right? He was placing my friend under arrest. So visualize the cop there. Next is silver. What I'm gonna do is, if you guys know, you can visualize a silver spoon, a silver coin. If you guys are into comics, the Silver Surfer, right? You can try to link that to the cop. In this case, I'm gonna visualize a big silver coin uh, that is just leaning against the cop, right? Just on the right of the cop, there's a huge silver coin. What's the coin doing there? I don't know, but it's there, right? It's gonna help me remember anyways. So you have the cop there, and beside the cop is a huge silver coin. The coin is nearly 6 foot two. It's on the same uh, height, right? Same height as the cop. So visualize that's how big the coin is. A huge silver coin, right? That's on the right of the cop, and the coin is leaning against the the cop. Visualize that huge silver coin. Next is gold. Now, beside the silver coin, there are hundreds of gold bars that are just stacked. So again, close your eyes if you have to. Right beside the silver coin, there's just stacks of gold bars right up to the ceiling. Right, if you want to visualize that. So just visualize how shiny the gold bars are. And platinum is the last thing. Platinum, again, the closest representation here would be platinum. Sounds like a plate to me. So what I'll do is I would visualize a huge plate that is leaning against the gold bar. Or what I can do is I can take the gold bar and place it on the plate, right? A very, very big plate. So maybe I'm trying to steal the gold bar. So I take a couple of the gold bars and I put it on my plate. So again, silver, right? But before that, we have the cop. And beside the cop, there's a huge silver coin. Beside the silver coin, there are stacks of gold bars. Besides the gold bar, there's a plate, and I take some of the gold bars and I place it on that plate. I'm trying to steal the gold bar, so you can visualize that. All right, let's do a recall from the top. First metal would be potassium. What's next? Sodium. Next, calcium, magnesium. Again, if I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video. Aluminium, carbon, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper. What's next? Silver, gold, platinum. All right, that's it. So again, potassium is the most reactive, platinum is the least reactive. All right, congratulations, you've just memorized the entire reactivity series. Now, if you would like to remember this for a very long period of time, forever, right, put it through the lightner system. It can be found in the next few sections. All right, if that's it, I'll see you for the next lecture. Thank you so much.